What a group, what a group. All champions. USA. Well, thank you very much. A big hello. This is a special group of patriots, champions, winners. You are winners. Oh, I'd love to have your job. I'd love to have your job. And a very special hello to the greatest sailors anywhere on the seas, the incredible men and women of the United States Navy. Very special people. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Great honor to be here. But I'm thrilled to be here among thousands of proud American patriots aboard the 100,000 tons, that's a lot of tonnage, forward deployed symbol of American might, power, and prestige, the legendary USS George Washington. This is some ship. They don't make them this way anymore, but we're not supposed to say that, but they really don't. This is great stuff. This is really an incredible GW, they call it GW, right? And we've come this afternoon to celebrate the strength and the skill and service of everyone on this ship. So we're going to all relax. We're going to have a good time. We're not going anywhere, you know. If you go back to Washington, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. But I want to just tell you that you are special people, and we're going to have a little fun. And I'm going to tell you how great our country is and how well we're doing, because a year and a half ago, we had a different country than we do right now. Now we're the most respected country in the world. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it hasn't taken too long, but I had no doubt. I just didn't know we were going to do it this fast. We've done it fast because of people like you. So I want to thank you very much. And I want to recognize a man that you all know well. And he's a tough cookie. He was formerly our Secretary of Defense, but now he is proudly known as our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. And, you know, I don't say this. He gave up a hell of a job. They were going to pay him millions of dollars. They didn't want him to leave. That crazy fox, they didn't want him to leave. But he wanted, you know, every time I'd go on that show, all he wanted to talk about is the military. And I said, you know, if I ever do this, I'm going to bring this guy along with me. He knew more about it than anybody. He didn't want to be doing the other stuff. And he had a chance. He could have made so much money he wouldn't have known. He didn't want that. This is what you wanted, Pete. He's so happy now. Those drug ships aren't coming in anymore. We can't find a ship. There's no ships coming in with drugs, you know. It's like he's been incredible. So thank you very much, Pete. You gave up a lot. We appreciate it. Thank you. And unlike past administrations, we will not be politically correct. You don't mind that, do you? When it comes to defending the United States, we're no longer politically correct. We're going to defend our country any way we have to, and that's usually not the politically correct way. From now on, if we're in a war, we're going to win the war. We're going to win it like nobody ever before. You know, we'd go in, we'd blast the hell out of countries. Shouldn't have gone in. By the way, if you don't go in, that's even better. We don't have to go in, peace through strength. But, you know, we'd go in, we'd win, and then we'd leave. They used to say, to the victor belong the spoils. Well, we'd be the victor, then we'd leave, because we had people that didn't know what the hell they were doing. But we're also very honored to be joined by hundreds of our incredible Japanese partners, and they are incredible. Thank you very much. Thank you. This woman, this woman is a winner. So, you know, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. That means we're doing something right. But the cherished alliance between the United States and Japan is one of the most remarkable relationships in the entire world. Really, there's never been anything like it. Born out of the ashes of a terrible war, our bond has grown over 8 decades into the beautiful friendship that we have. It's a foundation of peace and security in the Pacific. You see it? So on behalf of all American sailors stationed in this beautiful country, let's hear it for our allies and the Japanese self-defense forces and all of the Japanese people that we love and respect. And I have such respect for Japan and the country. And now I have a really great respect for the new and incredible Prime Minister. And I have to say this, the first female Prime Minister in the history of Japan. Madam Prime Minister, please say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you all. 本日、米国の海軍創設250周年という記念すべき節目に、トランプ大統領とともに地域の自由と平和を守る象徴である空母ジョージ・ワシントンで挨拶するチャンスをいただいたこと、心から光栄に思います。
This year marks the U.S. Navy's semi-quincentennial anniversary. As we celebrate the important milestone, I'm truly honored to have this opportunity to deliver remarks with President Trump aboard the aircraft carrier USS George Washington, a symbol of protecting freedom and peace in this region.
でまず何よりも日夜、我が国と地域の平和と安全のために尽力してくださっている自衛隊員、そして在日米軍の、軍隊の皆さん、軍人の皆様に心から敬意と感謝を捧げます。
First and foremost, I would like to express my deep respect and sincere gratitude to all the men and women in uniform from Japan's Self-Defense Forces and the U.S. Forces Japan for your dedication and commitment to safeguard peace and security of our nation and the region day and night.
6年前に、ありがとう、Thank you. 6年前、この横須賀の地で、トランプ大統領と、亡くなった安倍晋三、総理が、日米が共に手を取り合って、この地域の平和と安全を確保していくという決意を示しました。
6 years ago, at this same place here in Yokosuka City, the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and President Trump stood side by side and demonstrated their resolve that Japan and the United States would join hands to ensure peace and security in this region.
今ここに再び日米の最高指揮官が並び立ったこの機会に、私はその決意を引き継ぎ、インド太平洋を自由で開かれたものとし、そして地域の平和と繁栄の礎とする決意を新たにしました。
Now, as the two commanders-in-chief of Japan and the United States stand together once again, I have renewed my determination to carry forward that resolve and to make the Indo-Pacific free and open so that it will serve as the foundation of peace and prosperity for the entire region.
今、我々はかつてないほど厳しい安全保障環境に直面しています。平和は言葉だけではなく、確固たる決意と行動によってこそ守られます。
Now, we are facing an unprecedented severe security environment. Peace cannot be preserved by words alone. It can be protected only when there is an unwavering determination and action.
あちらに見える最上とマヤを含む自衛官とこのジョージ・ワシントンは数多くの訓練を重ねてきました。でまた横須賀にいる多くの、補給整備に携わっている、日米関係者の皆様、そして地域社会との絆が、米国海軍の活動を長年にわたって支えてきました。こうした幾層にもわたる日米の協力が日米の抑止力、対処力を確かなものとしております。
From where we stand, we can see Maritime Self-Defense Forces Mogami and Maya, vessels of Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force and USS George Washington have conducted numerous joint exercises. Just as importantly, there are so many Japanese and American personnel working for logistics and maintenance here in Yokosuka. And there's also a strong sense of bond with the local community here. Those are what have been supporting the activities of U.S. Navy over the years. There's no doubt that such multi-layered Japan-U.S. cooperation is what makes it possible for us to ensure the credibility of our two nations' deterrence and response capabilities.
私は決意しています。今後、日本の防衛力を抜本的に強化して、この地域の平和と安定により一層積極的に貢献していきます。
So let me reiterate my unwavering determination here. Japan is committed to fundamentally reinforce its defense capabilities, and Japan is ready to contribute even more proactively to peace and stability of the region.
そのことにより、トランプ大統領とともに世界で最も偉大な同盟になった日米同盟をさらなる高みに引き上げてまいります。
Through these efforts, together with President Trump, I am determined to elevate the Japan-U.S. alliance, which has already become the greatest alliance in the world, to even greater heights.
日米は共に帆を掲げ、自由で開かれた海を進みます。この横須賀から紡がれる航路は、日米の絆を輝く未来へと導くことを確信しています。
Japan and the United States will advance together with our sails raised high across a free and open sea. And I am very confident that the sea route from Yokosuka will make our bond even stronger and stronger and bring our two nations on the path to a shining future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will have a long, good relationship, and we'll have fun doing it. You know, you have to have fun, although sometimes it's never fun. She's tough to negotiate with, I want to tell you. But I'm delighted to report that I've just approved the first batch of missiles. You saw a couple of them coming down with me. I hugged them. We need them. They're the best in the world. Nobody has them like we have them. They all want our missiles. That's the problem. Everybody wants them. But it's the first batch of missiles to be delivered to the Japanese self-defense forces for Japan's F-35s. And they're coming this week, so they're ahead of schedule. So I just want to tell Madam Prime Minister, they've been waiting for those missiles, and we got them here right away as soon as I heard about it. I want to thank former Senator, a great gentleman, by the way. He was so popular, but I took him out, and I made him Secretary of State. I think he was born for it. Marco Rubio, thank you very much, Marco. Where are you, Marco? Great job. Great job. He was born for it. Ambassador George Glass, thank you very much, George. Good job you're doing. Thank you. And many of our outstanding uniform leaders with us today, including the head of the Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Paparo. Where is Samuel? Hello. Good, but these are good-looking people. You could make a movie with these guys. They're like Central Cat. Look at this group of people. Commander of the U.S. Forces, Japan, General Stephen Jost. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. The commander of the 7th... Oh, that's a big deal. I think you want to switch jobs for 1 week. Only for 1 week, all right. 7th Fleet, big stuff. Vice Admiral Fred Kacher. Fred, thank you very much. That's great. And the commander of Carrier Strike Group 5, Rear Admiral Eric Pappy Andoze. Hello, Pappy. That's great. Good. Thank you very much. And of course, we can't forget about your command triad aboard the George Washington. There's nothing like this one. This is a beauty, and I hear your commanding officer is a big Alabama football fan. You know, I love Alabama. I love Alabama. Captain Timothy Waits, and let me just say, roll tide. You know, I love Alabama. Roll tide. Where's Timothy? Where's Timothy? That was a hell of a game this week. I don't know how the hell you pulled that one out. That was. If you didn't win, I wouldn't have mentioned it. I would have just introduced you. I wouldn't have. But you came back from oblivion. Isn't it nice coming back? You know, coming back is good. Thanks as well to your XO, Captain Patrick Blind. Patrick, where is he, Patrick? Patrick, thank you. Highly respected person. All of these people are the best. Look at them. I mean, you look at them. They could have any job they wanted. They could walk down to Wall Street, make a fortune. They wouldn't do that. They like what they're doing, and nobody does it better, as well as really one of the most important people on the ship. Have you ever heard of Command Master Chief Tony Roberts? Have you ever heard of him? Wherever you are, where's Tony? Thank you, Tony. He's a popular guy. And as many of you know, this month we're celebrating a truly momentous anniversary. 250 years of courage and pride, honor and victory by the United States Navy. 250 years. Can you imagine? And 3 weeks ago, Melania and I flew to Naval Station Norfolk. I think many of you probably know that, and witnessed an unforgettable display of pure American dominance at sea. It was incredible to watch. They gave us some. Then I said, slow it down, costs a lot of money. Let's save it. You know, let's relax a little bit. They gave us some great display, from the thunderous roar of the guided missile destroyers, never saw anything like it, to the spectacular sight of nuclear submarines all over the place, to the unstoppable force of another great American aircraft carrier. One thing was clear, that no enemy will ever even dream of threatening America's Navy. There's no Navy even close, not even close. You hear about some of them doing ships, but nobody can do what we do. Nobody has what we have. And we also have the best equipment that rides along in those ships. You see that. Nobody makes equipment like we do. Nobody makes the ammunition, the weapons, the missiles, the planes, none of it. And if they do, the American sailor stands ready to crush them and sink them and wreck them and blast them into oblivion, right? We have to. And that's a terrible statement for me to make. That's the end of it, because everybody said that I should immediately get the Nobel Peace Award. With that statement, that takes me out of the running, but that's the way it is. The United States is blessed with the strongest and most powerful military in the history of the world. There's no military like our military, not even close. Nobody has our weapons, and it'll be stronger and more powerful than ever before very soon. You know, we just approved the biggest budget in the history, over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. We have the best ships, the best airplanes, the best submarines, the best technology. But above all, we have America's military. It's the best people. It's all about the people, ultimately. You have to work all of that fancy stuff that we make better than anybody else. The fact is, we do make the best weapons, but if you don't have the right people to operate those weapons, they don't mean much. Despite that, as Commander-in-Chief, I never forget that our ultimate strength does not come from equipment. It comes from the men and women of the rank and file. That's true. It comes from you people, incredible people, good-looking people, too many good-looking people. I don't like good-looking people. I never liked good-looking people, I'll be honest with you. I've never admitted that before. But see, I'm allowed to, you know, we won in the Supreme Court a thing based on merit. You know about that, right? Merit. Everything now in our country is based on merit, and that's why I look at you and I see nothing but merit. It's great to have a country back where we can go by merit now. We don't go by anything else except for talent and work and hard work, and it's such a big win. That was such one of the most important wins, and the will, patriotism, and spirit in your hearts is our single greatest weapon. The strength that you have is unbelievable. That's why, as we make a record investment in our military, we've never spent so much, and we've never spent it more wisely, because now we watch it. We spend it properly. I'm also supporting an across-the-board pay raise for every sailor and service member. in the United States Armed Forces. Now, if you don't want it, you want to give back to your country, just let us know. We won't give it to you. Is there anybody in that category? Huh? But now, all we really have to do is get the Democrats to approve it. But they'll come along. They always do, you know, they always do. And because I heard that the sailors on the George Washington took a hit to your family separation pay, you know what I'm talking about, right? You took a little hit to be here, right? By returning to the port, you returned early for this event. I am delighted to announce that as your sort of boss, I don't feel like your boss, but I guess I am. At least you'll be happy about this one. At my direction, we're going to make sure that you receive the full amount that you were owed for the deployment. And we're not going to deduct anything because you came in to listen to your commander. I'd like to be an admiral. I always wanted to be an admiral, to be honest. Don't tell the other people that I love so much. You know, they sit around the table, they have all those beautiful stars and stripes, but I'll tell you what I love. I always love the admirals. I love those uniforms. And I look at these guys. I don't think I would have done very well if I had to compete with these people. They're too good. But I always felt that the Navy is a very special group of people. And I see it when I see you. I see it over the past 11 months. The spirit of our military has been soaring like never before. You know that. The spirit of our country has been soaring. After years of recruiting shortages, and we had bad ones. It was embarrassing, frankly. During my campaign, before the election, November 5th, after that it all changed. After we won, it all changed. And now we have waiting lists with record numbers trying to join the U.S. Navy and all of the armed forces. We have literal waiting lists, and I'm pleased to report that 2025 was the Navy's single best recruiting year in many generations. That's pretty good, isn't it? But, you know, think of it. It seems like I've been up here so long, and it seems like I've been doing this for a long time and a half. We had a great first term, but nothing like what's happening now. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. I rebuilt the military in the first term, and then they gave a lot of it away to Afghanistan. But it was really just a tiny speck, but it was the concept of what it was. But we rebuilt the military, and we did so many things in the first term, but we're blowing it away right now. But think of it, just 1 year ago, I was in the middle of a campaign. Can you believe that? It doesn't feel that way. I said, you know, you're right. It's not November 5th yet. We have another week or so to go. I was campaigning 1 year ago. And look at all the things that we've done since this unbelievable day, November 5th. That's when it all changed. When we won on November 5th, it all changed, and we went from a country that wasn't respected and a lot of people that had no spirit. That includes joining the police, the fire departments. They didn't want to join. After that, they started joining, and it seems like 10 years ago, not less than a year. Think of it, less than a year ago, I was campaigning. You know, we won the second election by a lot, so we had to just prove it by winning the third by too big to rig, I called it. It was too big to rig. And it was an amazing victory. And thank goodness we won, because we were in big trouble. We were in big trouble. But the new recruits, every sailor aboard this ship has answered a sacred call of duty to cross any ocean, fight any battle, and defend America and its allies with unwavering resolve. As you know, the George Washington is the only aircraft carrier on Earth that is permanently stationed overseas. It's permanent. Now, if you'd like to take a trip back to America, hell, let's do it one time. Well, I'll join you. I'd love to join you. You know, when I landed on this, it doesn't feel like a ship. It's solid. This is a solid piece of stuff. These 4.5 acres of power and steel are the front line of American freedom in the Pacific. Every day you're taking risk to keep our country safe and to defend peace and security in this incredible part of the world, working with Japan, working with other nations. I just left Malaysia. We stopped a big war with, you know that, we stopped 8 wars. Can you imagine? In 8 months, I stopped 8 wars. Like, I stopped a war month. Think of that. That's pretty good. But I just left Malaysia. Thank them because they helped us very much with one of them, and actually for even a second, they're great people, and they send their regards. I spent a day there with the Prime Minister, and we had a good time. But you carry out your mission bravely, you carry it out brilliantly, and on behalf of all Americans, I just want to say, and I came over to say it loud and clear, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Incredible people. You are incredible people. They actually have the best location, because if they're really good looking, they end up in Hollywood. You know, you're not going to, you have a great look, but you're not going to end in Hollywood. They can just see the back of your head, all the media. Look at all the fake news back there. But 2 years ago, Naval Air Crewman, 3rd Class James McCall was just a few months into his first fleet tour with the Golden Falcons helicopter squadron when he and his crew were called on a search and rescue mission to find 3 missing Navy divers. Incredible, brave guys, the divers. But they were stranded at sea and right off the Japanese coast. They were exhausted and assuming they were going to die. They assumed they were going to die. But with unbelievable focus and skill, crewman McCall was able to find and help rescue all 3 divers in the water below, saving his fellow sailors. And James is with us today as a shipmate on this carrier. Crewman McCall, thank you very much for your incredible bravery, and we salute you. Where is James? Where are you, James? Whoa. Come up, James. Get up here, James. Come up here. Look at this guy. He's a good-looking guy. Get out of here, James. I don't want you up here. No, come here, James.